Well, we're off to the races. Our attorneys have begun questioning email witnesses as a result of a federal court order. The federal court wanted to know, in this case it was U.S. District Court Judge Royce Lamberth, whether Hillary Clinton's email system was set up to evade FOIA, whether or not there was an effort to hoodwink the court, to shut the case down so they didn't have to tell him and Judicial Watch about the emails. And then thirdly, are there other emails that can be found and produced under the law? And this is a Benghazi case. It's a Benghazi Freedom of Information Act case. So the court also wants to know, I wonder if the Benghazi scandal was one of the reasons about them not wanting to tell us about these emails. Was there something there they were concerned about or they didn't even want to look for because they were worried about the blowback on Benghazi? So as a result, we have 11 witnesses we're able to question in person. We've scheduled, I think, 10 of those. Our attorneys already took the first testimony last week. It was of Justin Cooper, who was a former Clinton Foundation employee who helped set up the system. And so there are a series of other testimonies that we'll be able to take and other witnesses that have to come in under oath. And just today, because there are other witnesses that we're able to question in writing under oath, so they have to respond to us in writing. And that includes Susan Rice, who is the former UN ambassador under President Obama, who went out and lied repeatedly on Benghazi. Ben Rhodes, the White House official who wrote the fake talking points about Benghazi, blaming it on a video as opposed to the truth was that it was a terrorist attack. And Bill Priestep, who is a former FBI official, senior FBI official, who oversaw the Clinton email investigation. The interesting thing is that Ben Rhodes is nowhere to be found. He's evading our efforts to comply with the court direction to question him under oath in writing. So we're seeking court permission. Hey, you know, he doesn't want to answer our requests and he doesn't want to follow your court order as to whether or not, you know, in terms of providing answers under oath in writing, you know, we're going to have to question him in person. So already we're facing objections and obstruction from the Clinton email witnesses. And outrageously, the Justice Department is telling the court that they don't think that we should be able to depose Ben Rhodes. So the Justice Department is still protecting Hillary Clinton in many ways. And in fact, they just filed a brief saying that there should be no video depositions released. They should be put under seal of the government employees who we're going to be questioning. So again, it's Judicial Watch that's doing all this work despite the objections of the State Department and the Justice Department. And you know, it's one thing to have them protect Clinton during the Obama administration. We now know, based on the Page and Strzok testimony that was released, that was, well, I shouldn't say we now know. It's been further confirmed in testimony that email investigation was a sham and corrupt. But now the Justice Department and the FBI, and the State Department are still protecting Hillary Clinton. So everything's a fight to get the truth out about the Clinton email scandal. But I'm pleased that it's Judicial Watch that's doing the fighting still, because Congress has given up, and as I say, Justice Department's fighting us.
So why is the Justice Department fighting us after so long? It's Trump's administration. These are his people. So why, or supposedly, so why are they still digging in to protect someone who's been gone and evading answers on this email scandal after so long?
Well, because the deep state is partisan. It's out to get President Trump. And to initiate any investigation into Hillary Clinton, even to allow Judicial Watch to ask questions related to Hillary Clinton's conduct, gets in the way of their goal of overthrowing the president. And that's what I think is going on. The Justice Department and State Department are also implicated in this scandal. They helped Hillary Clinton cover it up. You know, as the court mentioned, he was concerned about the Justice Department prevarications to him, you know, maybe misleading him. So the Justice Department and State Department are also protecting themselves institutionally. And remember, it's not Hillary Clinton who just committed the misconduct. There were State Department officials, maybe Justice Department officials who covered up the emails, all sorts of misconduct that surround the Clinton email issue. And that's why the deep state is protecting Hillary Clinton, because in many ways it's protecting itself.
So it's trying to cover its own malfeasance and wrongdoing and implication in the scandal then.
Yeah, you know, I guess that's all speculation, but it's based on evidence that there was malfeasance in the scandal by other officials, but you know, other officials beyond Hillary Clinton. We know that at the State Department, we know that at the Justice Department and the FBI. In the end, it's all just obstruction. And whatever the reason, it's obstruction. And it's obstruction of justice, it's obstruction of the court processes, and it's little old Judicial Watch in there just battling day in and day out. We had 3 attorneys go up to New York to question Justin Cooper. We have these other witnesses testifying. We have documents coming in. So the Clinton email scandal is far, far from over.
So with this depositions and some of these proceedings have started, has there been information from the deposition so far that you can share with us, or is that still to be determined?
Well, we just have the one witness, and the reason we questioned him, or wanted to question him, because obviously he set up the system, but his testimony seemed to contradict testimony that his testimony that had been given elsewhere. I think he had testified to Congress, maybe to the special counsel, or the, not the special counsel, but the FBI. He had set up the system in concert with Huma Abedin, Hillary Clinton's one of her top aides. Now, Abedin testified to Judicial Watch attorneys back in 2016, and she said, well, I wasn't involved. I didn't know about the server till after the fact. So we've got testimony that contradicts other testimony, and that's why we questioned Mr. Cooper. But his deposition, the video, at least portion of it's under seal, or we're still battling as to whether that material is going to be made public in its entirety.
Okay.
But again, it's the Justice Department and the State Department working in concert with the Clinton email witnesses to try to thwart transparency of this process.